Why does bad stuff happen if God is good? And it's probably not what you've heard other people say before. In part one, we saw that sin damaged us and sin damaged the world. So part of the answer for why bad stuff happens is because of sin. But that left us with another big question. See, if God is good and God is in control, then why did God let bad stuff happen in the first place? Why did he ever let sin into the world at all? And why doesn't he stop it now? Here's the first answer, but make sure you watch to the end because otherwise it won't make sense. The first part to the answer is, we don't know because the Bible doesn't tell us. Now that might sound like a bit of a bummer and it can be frustrating, but just because God hasn't given us the whole answer in his word, the Bible, doesn't mean that we have no answer at all. Here's what we do know. The main reason, the primary purpose that God made you is for his glory. You can check out 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31 or Romans 11 verse 30 to 33 or John 17 verse 20-25 to see what I'm talking about. But that means that the main reason you exist, the primary purpose for your life is not so that you'll be happy or fulfilled, it's so that God would be glorified. Now that might make you a little bit uncomfortable to think that the main reason that you exist is for God's glory, but let me give you 3 reasons why it makes sense and why it's actually a good thing. Number 1, God is the creator of all things, so he gets to decide what his creation is used for. It's the same with you. If you make something, if you author something, you have the authority over it. You get to be in charge. 2, it probably makes you uncomfortable because the idea of giving someone else glory seems selfish for that person. But God is the only one who actually deserves all glory and actually deserves everyone to look at him and say, wow, isn't he amazing? Because he is good and he is perfect and he is sinless and he made us. And 3, it's not a selfish glory. Actually, if you look at 1 Peter chapter 4 verses 12 and 13, you'll see that God's design is that his people will one day get to share in his glory in heaven. If you think of like God like a big campfire, what happens when you sit near a fire? You get to bask in the warmth and the light. We get to share in God's glory forever. He's not trying to keep it all for himself. He made us to share in his glory. So what does that have to do with why bad stuff happens? Well, we don't know fully why God lets bad stuff happen and why he lets sin in the first place, but we do know that he cares about his glory and sharing his glory with his people. And so it must be that he decided that the very best way for that to happen was for things to play out as they have. So why does bad stuff happen if God is good? Well, partly it happens because of sin, but it also happens so that God might ultimately be glorified and we, his people, can share in his glory. Now that's probably not going to answer every question you have around why bad stuff happens and suffering and trials, so make sure you keep asking questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to me or reach out to a pastor or minister at your local church or a Christian friend that you trust to keep talking about it.